November 16, 1957, Plainfield, Wisconsin. A small farming town where everyone knew everyone. That evening, the local hardware store owner, Bernice Worden, disappeared. Her son came to check on her and found the store empty. Blood on the floor, the cash register gone. Police suspected a local man named Ed Gein, a quiet, strange farmer who lived alone on an isolated property outside town. When police entered Ed Gein's farmhouse, they found something beyond imagination. A woman's body hanging upside down in the shed, gutted like a deer. Inside the house, bowls made from human skulls, lampshades made from human skin, a belt made from human nipples, chairs upholstered with human skin, and a mask made from a woman's face that Ed would wear around the house. Ed Gein had been robbing graves for years, digging up bodies of middle-aged women, bringing them home, making furniture and clothing from their remains. This case would inspire Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the Silence of the Lambs. This is the story of Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield. Ed Gein was born in 1906 in La Crosse, Wisconsin. His childhood was a nightmare. His father, George Gein, was an alcoholic, violent, useless. His mother, Augusta Gein, was a religious fanatic who hated the world. Augusta believed all women except herself were evil. She believed sex was sinful. She believed the outside world would corrupt her sons. Ed and his brother Henry grew up on an isolated farm. Augusta homeschooled them using only the Bible. She read them verses about death, murder, and divine retribution every day. She told Ed that all women were prostitutes and instruments of the devil. She told him that sex would send him to hell. She told him he was weak and worthless. Ed worshipped his mother. He believed everything she said. He had no friends, no social skills, no contact with the outside world. In 1940, Ed's father died. In 1944, his brother Henry died in a mysterious fire on their property. Some suspected Ed killed him, but it was never proven. Now it was just Ed and his mother, alone on the farm. Then, in 1945, Augusta had a stroke. Ed took care of her for months. Then she had another stroke and died. Ed was 39 years old, alone, and completely broken. After his mother died, Ed Gein sealed off her bedroom. He never entered it again. He kept it exactly as she left it, a shrine. The rest of the house fell into decay. Ed lived in one small room, the kitchen. That's it. But Ed couldn't let go of his mother. He became obsessed with middle-aged women who looked like her. Between 1947 and 1952, Ed began robbing graves. He would read obituaries in the newspaper, look for women around his mother's age. Then he'd go to the cemetery at night. He'd dig up the freshly buried bodies, take them home. Sometimes just parts, sometimes the whole body. Ed later claimed he was in a daze during these grave robbings. He said he couldn't remember doing it. Police later confirmed he had robbed at least 9 graves, possibly more. What did Ed do with the bodies? He skinned them. He made things from their skin and bones. He experimented with preserving skin. He created a collection. Police would later find in his house bowls made from skulls, lampshades from skin, a wastebasket made from human skin covering chair seats, a shoebox full of female genitalia, a box of noses, a corset made from human torso skin, and most disturbing of all, an entire suit made from female skin that Ed would wear to pretend to be his mother. Grave robbing wasn't enough. Ed wanted fresh bodies. On December 8, 1954, Mary Hogan, a tavern owner in a nearby town, disappeared. Her tavern showed signs of a struggle. Blood on the floor, a spent rifle cartridge. No one suspected Ed Gein. He was just the weird hermit farmer. Quiet, harmless. 3 years later, on November 16, 1957, Ed walked into Worden's hardware store in Plainfield. Bernice Worden, age 58, was there alone. She looked like Ed's mother. Ed shot her in the head with a .22 rifle. He loaded her body into his truck. He took the cash register to make it look like a robbery. He drove her body back to his farm. He took her to his shed. He hung her upside down like a deer carcass. He gutted her, decapitated her. That evening, Bernice's son came to check on the store. He found blood and signs of struggle. He remembered Ed had been in the store that morning. Ed's name was the last entry in his mother's sales ledger. Police went to Ed's farm. They found Bernice's headless body in the shed. Then, they went into the house. And they discovered the full horror of what Ed had been doing for years. The scene inside Ed Gein's house was like something from hell. Police found 4 noses in a cup, whole human bones, a pair of human lips on a string, skulls used as bowls, human skin used to upholster chair seats, a lampshade made from human skin, a wastebasket made from human skin covering a table, a sheath made from human skin, leggings made from human skin, a vest made from a female torso, a belt made from human nipples, Bernice Worden's head in a burlap sack, Mary Hogan's face in a paper bag, Bernice Worden's heart in a pot on the stove, and most disturbing, a full woman suit made from human skin that Ed would wear. He had created an entire female bodysuit, with breasts, with genitalia. He would put it on and pretend to be his mother. Ed confessed immediately. He was calm, matter of fact. He showed police where everything came from. He admitted to killing Mary Hogan and Bernice Worden. He admitted to robbing graves. The town of Plainfield was in shock. Ed Gein had been their neighbor for decades. Quiet, polite, odd, yes, but harmless. Now they learned the truth. Ed Gein was arrested and charged with murder, but he was declared legally insane. He was sent to a mental hospital, not prison. During psychiatric evaluation, Ed explained his actions. He said he wanted to make a woman suit so he could become his mother. He said he wanted to crawl into female skin. He said he was confused about his own body and identity. Psychiatrists diagnosed him with extreme mother issues and psychosis. Ed Gein never went to trial for Mary Hogan's murder. He was found not guilty of Bernice Worden's murder by reason of insanity. He spent the rest of his life in mental institutions. He died in 1984 at age 77, but Ed Gein's story lived on. His case inspired some of the most famous horror villains in cinema history. Norman Bates in Psycho, 1960. The Mother Obsession, The Isolated House. Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. The Human Skin Masks and Furniture. Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. The Woman Suit Made from Human Skin. Ed Gein killed only 2 people, but his grave robbing and the horrific artifacts he created made him one of the most infamous criminals in American history. The Butcher of Plainfield became a legend of true crime horror.